Telkom. Possible begins here.
What it do, what's cooking, VS Gaming fam? We are gathered for a full edition of Talking VS, where we'll be sitting with friends within the community to unpack all the hot topics within the VS Gaming Leagues. First up, eDiski Season 7 is upon us, and we need to be talking about this, okay? We are ranking the 5 best EAFC players in the league.
Hey, see, but that's a loaded topic. You know, anyone can say go to their top 5.
Okay.
I can say that. But I want us to talk about what really, really makes the top 5 player.
All right.
Gents.
Yeah, where do we even start? Honestly?
You know where we start? Consistency.
Okay.
Because all the top players, they have one thing in common, is that they got to the top and stayed there for
Okay,
a while. Even if they eventually ended up falling off, right? There was a solid 2-3 years where this guy was untouchable, one of the best in the world. So that's for me my number one thing. Can you be consistent? Nobody wants to see you pop in 7 goals one game, and then you lose 3-0 the entire time.
Yes.
So can you do that game in, game out, tournament in, tournament out? I think that's my number one thing.
So in here, there's no one-hit wonders.
No.
We're not talking about one-hit wonders. Okay, okay.
I also think it's about brandability as well when you think about it, right? Because when you have consistency, brands and orgs are able to see you and notice that, you know, you are a
Yes,
top
yeah,
contender, right?
yeah.
So that's also something that needs to be mentioned when it comes to these top players. Have they represented more than just themselves, right?
Yeah, actually. I mean, there are some people who became synonymous with their organizations, or rather, people would just you think of the organization, you think of this
And
player.
you think of the person, yes,
So
yes.
that makes a lot of sense. I also think it's consistency important, brandability important, right? But can this player win a losing game? Right? That's what you need out of a championship player. The kind of players who win games they have no business winning.
Yeah.
Then you're like, okay, yeah, that's something to look out for as well. Very important.
That's so deep. Can
Yeah.
they win a losing game?
Yeah, you have to be the real deal.
Yeah, no, because it's about you know, mentality a lot of the times when it comes into this one. What Snare's talking about, because sometimes, especially in eDiski, you can be down like 4-0.
Yeah.
But trust me, when the half turns over,
Yeah.
you definitely can bring it back and score 4 goals yourself,
Yes.
right? So it's also just about making sure you have the correct mentality.
Yeah.
You have that hunger to be a winner in a lot of the situations that you find yourself
Yeah.
in.
Absolutely. And my number one thing, the thing that makes you the best player, can you win without playing 5 at the back?
Oh,
Then I know.
no parking the bus here. No parking the bus.
I get back to, since we're on the same page now, we know what makes the greatest player.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Top 5, top 5, top 5.
Azisha.
Hold on. Before we talk about top 5.
Okay.
This is now, we're getting into our 7th season of eDiski, nah? We've been some amazing tournaments over the years. But that means there's also been a lot of people that have competed, right? And as much as we are going to pick a top 5, right? I think there's 10 assailed before us, right? Because that at least that many names that we have to pay like the utmost respect to.
Yes.
Like somebody people might know about like a Radar right now, new kid on the block, right? But we still have to pay respect to the grandfathers, the Moby Zillas of this world, the
Yes.
Devacs of this world, the guys who set the tone initially to make this entire competition what it is now.
Yeah, so I think myself here and Snare, we've set out those 10 players that
Okay.
we feel
Okay.
need to be highlighted, you know?
Yeah.
So we're going to start with that young talent over here.
Okay.
It's Rita, right? Very fresh into the game.
Yeah.
Straight after it, older brother Zaid. I mean, we all know.
Oh,
him.
gee, yes.
One of my favorites, young
One of my favorites. Okay, now you're talking.
Yes, of course. Also, Asim. I mean, we all know.
Yeah,
Asim.
yeah.
Asim has done some nasty stuff, you know, in the game so far. On top of that, the Beast Bianchi.
Legend.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan. You know what I'm saying? But will I put him on my list? Is the question. And then we have Masoom as well. Also, you know, the Iceman.
Iceman.
The
Yes, yes.
Iceman,
Stays
you know?
cool no matter what.
No matter what, he's always on top over there. You know, fresh kid, but he's got the experience, right?
Sure.
Kalen also, you know, can be considered as one of the goats. That's on our list right now.
Ooh, tough list.
It's a very tough list.
I don't know how we're gonna do this, guys. I don't know. Shall we start with dropping 5
Yeah.
and then getting into our top 5?
Okay.
Let's do that.
Okay.
That makes sense. I feel like I want to give Snare the first one. Who's
Oh, good.
bro.
Yeah. Put Snare in the hot seat.
Wait, my first drop or my fifth pick overall?
your fifth pick?
My
Fifth pick overall,
We're
yes.
gonna leave the best for last, obviously.
Sure. 5th pick overall for Snare.
I don't know how you're going to choose. I don't know how you're
Snare
going to
looks
choose.
like they're watching you right now, Snare. That 5th pick.
The problem is, right, some of these homies know where I live.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
There's some
saying.
problems. All right. Okay, so unfortunately, who I'm putting at 5th, right, is not a person who right now is at the top of his game. Hasn't necessarily been lighting the world on fire, right? His actual performances at VS haven't necessarily been as hot as he was, right? But this is a kid who, for many people in this country, right, put EAFC on the map.
Sure.
It's got to be Thabo Moloi.
Ah.
Young Savage.
I did not expect that.
I can't have a list without Young Savage,
Sure.
right? If his results were better recently, he would have been higher, right? But a list of top 5 in South Africa without him on it, I feel just feels wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
disrespectful.
Yeah, so it's got to be my top 5.
Okay,
Okay.
so in that same light, I feel like, you know, we mentioned how there's brandability with a lot of these guys.
Yes.
And I'm going to jump back to his previous organization, right? Giving you Beast Bianchi as my fifth.
As number
people.
5.
Yes, as my number 5. Yeah, no, I think...
Over Thabo.
I think if we have the same list, then it's gonna be boring. Like I need to at least be you know, here and there with you. So I just feel like for me, especially when I entered the game, you know, as a caster, you know, it was the Beast Bianchi. Everyone was talking about Beast Bianchi. He was really taking up the game, and he's proven himself many times in the eDiski League. Now he's a little bit,
Yeah.
So I guess that's why he's number 5. Would I have given Young Savage? Probably he's number 6 for me, you know. But we ain't doing a top, you know, 6 list. We're doing a top 5. So I'm gonna leave him comfortably over there.
George, I think me and you would probably choose between the two of them. The
Yeah.
question is, who do we decide on?
Probably Young Savage.
Young Savage.
Yeah, probably
Young Savage is going into our 5th spot.
Yeah, probably.
All right. Savage, we love you, my brother. Please.
Please level up. my
Definitely
G.
top 5. Push it. All right, gents.
Okay.
Okay, it's your 4th now.
Number 4. Yeah. The thing is, I think the top 3 is pretty easy to decide. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a top. I think our top.
I
three
think
are
our top
gonna
is going to be very similar.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So here's the interesting one. You know what I'm putting at number 3? Or number 4, sorry. The first thing I mentioned was consistency, right?
Yeah.
Somebody who's always in the mix, right? Who never, ever, 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 ever falters, right? From the beginning of his career up until now, I never want to come across this man in a game. There's the Iceman.
Himself.
I've got
Okay.
Masum as
Yo.
top 4.
Yeah, look, I think Masum's a good pick, sir. Like you said, the Iceman, there's been many moments you know, while watching him in a game, right,
Yes.
guys, you think he's out.
Yeah.
He'll be down like 2 goals, but he finds it, you know, his stride, he works his way back into it. So I think it's a good 4th pick. But he's a bit old, you know what I'm saying? Like there's some...
I'm old, so
Old for the game.
I get it, you know.
Old for the game. It's not an old man. You can see right here. This is a young buck, okay?
He's cool in the picture also.
Yeah, he is very
He's
cool.
very cool.
Very cool. But fair, in the game. In the game, yeah.
who
yeah.
you got there?
Yeah, I think it's tough. I'm looking at my list here. And there's a few people, obviously, that I really wouldn't pick.
It's tough, my brother Pig. Beg your pardon.
I'm gonna do something a bit controversial here.
Okay.
I was there in Cape Town, in eDiski, right? High school. This kid is crazy, man.
Yeah.
Reader, he's a fresh talent, he's new. Maybe I might shuffle my list actually. Yeah, I think, am I allowed to shuffle it?
Yeah, no, that's okay.
Let's
You
get
can
one shuffle,
it.
right?
One shuffle?
You get one shuffle.
No, because my top 3, I think I know what it is.
Okay, one shuffle.
So I'm actually gonna maybe push Beast Bianchi to my 4th position.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring in Rita, right? My reason being, right, like I said, he played the high school league, right, in Cape Town, and also played with the pros
Yes.
in the eDiski League,
Yes.
you know. And he proved himself in both times, you know, to kind of be that top dog,
Yeah.
that future that we need. So just touching over here in that 5th spot, just to keep things a little bit interesting, just to, you know, let the younger viewers at home also understand that, look, you might be young, there might be the Masums that have been in the game, but you definitely...
You can
possible.
cook.
It's
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
And he's got the backing as well, right?
Yeah.
With 80K. So
Yeah.
he's got
Yes.
that organization. He's brandable already. So there's really exciting stuff coming out of him, I think.
I would say next year, probably I would put the same. I would put him on the list,
Okay.
right? I just think he needs a little bit more time to go cook, you know? Get in the
Just
oven.
simmering.
He's very
for now,
young,
simmering.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right now, he is that it's like it's a very good meal, right? Home cooked meal,
Yes.
delicious, perfection, right? Give him some time, get that Michelin star recipe.
Yes, I'm hearing you.
This kid, he's the
Fair.
future. I don't
Yeah.
think he's the present, but he's definitely the future.
Future.
Yeah.
Got you. We've got a Garnacho on our hands here.
Yeah, just a young...
He's a cool palm, man. Cool
I knew you
palm.
were gonna go with Chelsea. Hey, all right. You know what? I think if I have to decide between the 2 kids, I not the 2 kids, but I think we keep Young
100%,
Savage
100%.
here,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I'm gonna let
he's
the
too
kid
new,
cook.
yeah,
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 I'm
he's
gonna
too
let
new.
him cook.
Yeah.
My OG though,
Yeah.
my man. I've seen this guy on stage. When we talk about ice cold, when we're talking about cold Palmer, this is a cold Palmer. No matter what happens with this guy, straight face like this. He's just like this. You don't know he's losing.
panic.
You don't know
No.
nothing. So definitely, I'm gonna put him in that number
4.
4 spot.
Hey.
I'm gonna put him number 4.
Hey.
I'm gonna put him number 4.
Hey, let's go,
All right.
Masoom.
We're
right.
going for?
Top three.
Yeah.
Are you guys ready?
No.
I just have a feeling like Snare and I's top 3 is exactly the same. It just depends on
The order,
The
yeah.
order.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Actually, you go first this time, because I went first for the other two, right? So you lead this one.
You're putting me on the spot. You know what, Snare? I feel like I'm gonna put none other than Asim.
Asim, yeah.
Number 3.
Yeah.
You know, I think right now there's a very top-heavy battle, right? I won't mention the other 2 because they'll come up anyway.
Sure. Yeah,
But it's like a top-heavy battle of these 3 players, you know, currently in eDiski.
They keep switching.
Yeah.
Well, this is why he's third. He's not
Yes.
really better than the other 2 players,
Yeah.
I feel. I think he just lacks a little bit of that, you know, what's it called, BMT, right? Like, he doesn't have those moments when he's in a big game, when he needs to make sure that he gets it over the line.
Sure.
He just struggles a little bit. So we'll give Asim, right? He's won an eDiski title as well, right? I believe it's season 5. So, I mean, it was a really good one for him. He came out of that one almost pretty much as a rookie.
Yeah.
Again, brandability behind Nixa. He's been playing for Nixa. He's done really well for them.
Yes.
Because, I mean, if not, Nixa, people are really only going to know them for like Counter-Strike. And other
Yes,
but
exactly.
because of him, you know, I think a lot of people can understand and see that Nixa really does want to venture into all these other esports that are in, you know, South Africa.
He reminds me of one of these players that's like purely focused on the game.
Sure. Yeah.
Like some of the other players, like your Young Savages or Beast Bianchis, you know, sure, the org drags them to it, but they get taken on photo shoots, you know, they're doing things around the organization, they're in the streets, you know, I party with some of them a few times, but Asim just wants to play,
Focus.
just wants to play.
And go home.
And go home.
Yeah.
And you know what he's going to do when he goes home?
He's
Play
gonna
some
play
more.
some more. Yeah.
That's all this kid is about.
Yeah, and you know what I like about Asim, man? He can lose, dog, and you look at him on camera and it's like, ish, just another day.
It's just another day. It's part of the
is
game.
what
That's the attitude you need, though. That's the
You
attitude
can't win if you
yeah.
don't lose, guys. Yeah.
He's not going to, there's very few broken controllers at his house.
It doesn't get tilted. I love that.
He doesn't tilt. I am also going to put him in 3, right? My rationale is similar in that out of everyone that we've actually seen, I think he had the fastest come up, right? In terms of like when his name came out there and how quickly he became like a real talent, right? His rise was rapid, out of nowhere. Plays really well, very good attitude on his shoulders, right? I've never heard anybody say a bad thing about him. And he also has a very identifiable style, right? This kid, his direct passing, genuinely the best in the game. Like no one is better at Asim than Asim at these direct balls, perfectly targeted. It's like watching Kudba play FIFA, imagine.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
That's how he rolls. He's not as good as the people we probably have at top 2.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, doesn't show his maximum level all the time. So for that reason, I'm with you. Number 3. For Asim. I will say, I wanted somebody else
Show
here.
our friends at home your number 3.
I wanted
All right.
somebody else on this one, but unfortunately, Asim is on his day just a bit too good. A bit too good.
Who is this somebody else? Just before you guys. I'm curious. I'm curious.
I really wanted to find space for my boy Beast. I
That's
really
why I
wanted
put
to.
him here. So that's
really
the thing,
wanted
right? Is I think George and I are going to disagree with you.
Yeah.
I think Beast is going to go up into that
Into
place.
3rd.
Yeah, third. I'm surprised it's not in your...
You guys must understand, when you have a good player, this is who you're talking about.
Yes.
This is the man himself. I think we're going to put him in 3rd. We're not agreeing necessarily with that, with either of you actually, unless he puts him even higher, but we're going to have to see. I think for me, this
place?
man has to go into 3rd place.
Are you going to put him higher? You know, let me not spoil
Let's
it.
not spoil
Let me
it.
not spoil it.
I think I'm set with Asim, you know.
Okay.
Like Snare mentioned, like he's just really good when he's on the ball. He's just a top-notch player
Yeah.
in the league right now.
Yeah.
So here's where it's gonna get interesting. right?
Okay.
And I don't know whether I show both players, and it's like either or. Whoever's second is second, and then I just place them in front over there.
Yeah.
Or I just show you guys my number 2. What do you guys think?
Let's do number 2
Let's
first.
do number 2.
Let's do number
Yes,
2
show
first.
us
Yeah.
a number 2. This is a
tough
real
one.
I don't
thing
even
now.
want to see. I want
Don't
to be
you-
surprised.
You're
I wanna
going to
see. I
stress
wanna
me
see.
out. You're
Tough
going to
one. I
stress
wanna see.
all of us out.
What you got, bro?
Can I get a drum roll, actually?
Thendo Plays as top 2. Whoa! Okay.
Yes.
Real.
I'm going here for our season 6 champion. That's the 2nd place, right? You know, Zaid,
Yeah.
amazing player, honestly speaking. His formations are always really good. His control of the ball is immaculate, right? He's just a bit too emotional for me, I think, right? His emotions can get to him in many interviews that he's done as well. He mentions that, like, look, sometimes my emotions get to me. I'll be there, I'll be playing, and he says, you know, you'll be thinking about a whole bunch of other stuff.
But isn't that what you want though? Like the emotions.
Somebody's got the
No,
keys.
there's a difference, right?
Yeah.
We can be emotional, right? As an athlete, right?
Yeah.
But when you're on the pitch, right, those emotions need to be converted into goals, you know,
Sure.
and into opportunities.
Fair.
Right?
Fair.
It cannot be on the opposite side, right? Which is what ends up happening a lot with Zaid, right? Where you can kind of see that happening. He's a little bit too much in his head. He's deeping it too much, and that just makes him falter a little bit, right? So that's why it's my second place. For me, I think even people know me as my brand. It's about just being brandable. You know, he's a brandable player. Amongst the rest of the year, I just feel like the Goliath team has really made strides, just, you know, promoting Zaid and just showing us that, like, look at this kid, look what he's doing, you know. And he's still really young, at 21, 22. He's still got a lot of, you know, things to prove.
I feel like you said, Guti, when we started this conversation, we said what? Consistency.
Consistency.
He's consistent.
He is always in top three,
He's
to
top
be
three.
fair. He's always top
three
three.
that I have here.
He's always
they're
top
always
three,
top
yeah.
three.
And
They
you're
are
putting
top-
him
they
in
are
second,
top-
though. You're putting him in second
Okay,
instead
okay,
of
okay.
third.
Because you'll see
Maybe-
my first. My first
Top three,
My first one makes
not top one. You are putting him in second place.
Maybe 4 or...
You guys can put
Here's
him
the
fourth,
thing, nah?
but it's fine.
Here's the thing, why I can agree with this with Zaid. On his day, when he's... Normally what will happen at a tournament, right?
Yeah.
The first 2 games that Zaid plays in the morning are excellent because he hasn't had time to lose. Nothing's gone wrong in the day yet, right? He's just fully hyped up, right? And then if he wins those first 2 games, his third game will be amazing.
Sure.
Right? When he's in form, when he's not like in his own head, not really worried about who the opposition is, right? Hasn't had a rough start to the day, right?
Yeah.
He actually, at his ceiling, I think his ceiling is the best. Of all the players we're going to talk about, right? I think at absolute max level, if you could reach that level every day, right, this wouldn't even be a conversation. But he can't reach that level every single day for various other reasons. That's what dips him down to second. I had to put him second as well. Because yes, he's won tournaments, right? He's always in the mix for top 3. Actually, you brought up Cape Town. When I was there in Cape Town and I saw what he was like after first the match he won to get into like grand finals, right? He was super gassed. The whole Goliath crew's around him, you know, he's there with his family. They're all so excited. And then as he started losing, I was sitting next to his family and I could see that the look on their face wasn't, this sucks, we want him to be winning, we want him to be doing better. They all knew that, Dad, we're going to have to do a lot of emotional labor after this because this is going to be a painful
It's gonna
thing.
be heavy,
It's going to be heavy for the boy, right? Even though he won the last year, right? It shouldn't be that bad. He's like, I won last year, second place, not that deep, move on. But it is going to be that deep, right? Given who he is. So, in good conscience, he can't be number 1, simply because of that, right?
But
at the same time, he's so good.
You guys don't,
undeniable.
you guys don't like
They
emotional
They
players.
don't.
You guys don't like
I
emotional.
think we like people who leave it all there, including their
No,
emotions.
But Zaid is one of those players that leaves it all there. Nah, thank you. You see, him and I are on the
This
same
one,
page,
yeah. Also, check this out. I love emotional players, right? But unfortunately, I play Dota, so I know emotional players lose you games. So
That's the issue.
Fair. You know what? I know this is going to upset them, and I want it to upset them.
let's see, boss.
For our number 2 spot.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. And I think it's because,
I agree.
especially for me, I have been a fan for a long time. And the respect I have for this man is ridiculous. Watching him play, I remember we were, I think 2022, 2022. We sat there and I just couldn't believe my eyes. The way he's just calm.
He's good. He's so
He
good.
believes in himself. He has to be number 2. There's no question about it.
And he's also one of the only other players in the country that has immaculate hoodie game. You know? So, when I see him with that hoodie on, I'm like, he's cooking.
Exactly, he's cooking. He's
Look,
cooking.
and
He
I'll
wants
give you
no
one
one.
thing. I'll give you one thing, right? I think actually, regardless, our top 3, your top 3, the players are very humble.
Sure.
They are.
He's one of the most humble players as
Fully.
well.
Lovely
Doesn't talk
guy.
too much. Even when you have an interview with him afterwards, you know, he'll be very calm, cool, collected. He'll just say, wasn't my day, guys.
Yes,
It is what it is, right?
It is what it is.
If I
It's
was
gonna
there,
do it.
Mina, I wouldn't be humble, guys. I'm one of the best
Especially
players.
for the money in these
I'm
tournaments.
one of the best players in the country. Oh.
You will hear about it.
Actually, what about the racing rig?
Thendo, you asked the right questions.
That's not my type of game, okay?
All right, gentlemen, it's getting serious now.
Okay.
All right.
It's all about that number 1 spot. Who is taking it? Thendo, do you want to start us off?
All right, guys.
All right, guys, who are we playing with?
Woo!
Why are we playing? Bro?
Should we?
Yeah.
All three reveal.
All
time.
three revealed at
Three
the
reveals
same
at the
time.
same time, yeah.
Yo, I'm
All
so
three
scared.
reveals
I'm
same
so
time.
scared. I'm so scared.
Out of eye.
George, I've been. Yo. Nah, I'm
No,
gonna
you two reveal.
you two reveal
Yeah.
at the first.
Yeah.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Azushe? I
Okay,
think it
obvious
was
choice.
going to be obvious.
Obvious choice.
I think it was going to be obvious.
Obvious choice.
Look,
Obvious choice.
If this was 2024 now, right? We have this conversation in 2020,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This man goes up easy. Right? You put Julio at the top, don't even worry about it.
But
right
that was
now,
4 years
but
ago.
that was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? Time has passed. Time catches up to all of us, except Kalen, right? Because what's interesting to me, we're talking about Raja earlier, right? Young kid on the block, he's on the come up. Kalen's been playing for a long. He's been playing since he was a teenager, right? So even though he's one of the veterans right now, he's still a kid.
Yeah.
He still has years left of his career to go, years left of his own mental development to
Yes.
continue into. He's just gonna keep getting better, and he's already really good. Right? This guy,
He's cooking.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's
I
also
mean-
no weaknesses to his game, in my opinion. Whenever I watch him play, I'm like, what are you supposed to do against
Yeah,
this
I
guy?
mean,
honestly?
look, just to give you perspective, I mean, the man came into the Cape Town Grand Final, right? That
Yeah.
eDiski Season 6 final.
Yeah.
He was defeated, you know? He was sick. Season 7, sorry.
Yeah.
He was sick. And he still pulled off a performance of his life over there to get it over the line. So there's just no question for me about Kalen. My thing is, right, a flip a coin sometimes. Between those top two for me, it's just a flip a coin. It just depends on the day. It depends on the crowd. It depends on so many factors sometimes on how this goes. I think if you follow these two players, right, if they're in the same tournament, they will be top two.
Yeah.
We've had interviews with Kalen. Kalen always says there's only one man that matters, you know, in this eDiski league,
And
right?
that is-
And it's Zaid.
Yeah.
For him, it's always going to be Zaid. He doesn't consider. I think I see him a little bit. He's like, no. That
Yeah.
guy's cool.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I can definitely
The
compete with
respect
him.
there, sure.
But he knows it's him and Zaid who are at the top of his game, right?
Interesting question.
Yeah.
Maximum level, right? Take away
Everything.
everything else.
Everything
Like
else.
just maximum on-field performances. Who do you pick between the two?
Tough one.
I would actually pick Zayd. I'm going to tell you now. Max performances, average performances, the floor is Kalen. The ceiling, I think, is Zayd.
For somebody who talks about emotion being a bad thing, Snare, you love a feeling, hey?
It's bad for
From
consistency.
the depths. All
Bad
right.
for consistency. But in terms of the pure heights,
Sure.
it's sort of like when people have in real football, we talk about
Yeah.
like the difference between Messi, Neymar, Ronaldo.
Ronaldo,
right?
sure.
And it's like, okay, Messi and Ronaldo, the most consistent players of all time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On his day, who's better than Neymar? On his day.
Fair.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like on a given day, if all conditions are correct,
Yeah.
it's Zaid and Kalen there. I feel like Kalen comes on top 60% of the time. It's tight.
George?
It's tight. It's tight.
Our
for me.
final
It's tight for me.
decision. I think whoever wins here is the top five. Because we're not going to lie, we also have the same top, at least rather between the two of them.
I'm so mad we didn't put him in the top
A
5.
little bit.
Y'all still have a
I'm
shuffle. Y'all still have
You
a
guys
shuffle.
have been
Oh, we have
shuffled
one
here.
shuffle.
You have one
We still have a
shuffle. But
shuffle,
who are
yeah.
you taking out? Huh?
Yo, that's crazy. No way, George! You just butchered our top five.
For
we
y'all
do
who
this?
didn't see, he killed Thabo Moloi. He's like,
killed-
no,
Yeah.
get rid of him.
Should we?
George took out
Yeah.
Young Savage.
Some tough decisions have to be
Tough
made.
decisions do have to be made. We had to be savages ourselves. But our number one spot.
Yeah, I think, you know what? Consistency have all three of the things we mentioned in the beginning. Consistency,
Yeah.
or he wins games.
Yes,
So I think number one is
Yeah.
wait, Sibu.
You imagine, we only have one. George,
Okay,
we have one. We have one change.
No, it's fine.
Okay, gentlemen, I think we are relatively in agreement. I am fighting you a little bit on the wrist, but otherwise I'm happy. Are you guys happy with your top five quickly?
No, I'm happy.
This is disrespect, though.
Kind
What do you
of,
think?
yeah.
Should I reshuffle? Should I reshuffle?
We'll talk about that one
Okay,
in
guys,
the comments.
no, but listen.
Quickly.
I have 4 players in my hand over here, right?
That's just paying this
Comment
party.
section.
Time,
Time.
guys, it's finished. That's the top 5. We are done. It's
We'll
good.
talk about it in the comment section, okay? We'll all be there
Yeah.
typing at the same time. Man, there you have it. The top 5 EAFC players in the VS Gaming League. According to all of us, who do you think deserve to be on some of the lists and maybe didn't deserve to be on the list. Maybe be like George and just cut them out. Hit us up on our socials. It's at VS Gaming World. Wow, guys, really, this
Tough
is
one.
the top 5.
This is
I wouldn't.
I still can't believe this.
That's
bro.
crazy.
I don't wanna
You
guys
can't
I
even
had to
top
do
five
something
also.
spicy because everyone was gonna have Masood
George,
or
I
Young
can't
Seven.
believe you just
okay.
changed.
Or they were gonna have
That's
like,
crazy.
you know.
Telkom. Possible begins here.